I don't blame you.
Harry, thank you so much for
on
hosting.
Saturday night.
Beautiful.
That's not recording, is it?
Now it is. It just started. Why would you say?
Thank you for hosting. Everything's good.
I'll edit it.
Thank you, Harry and Esther and the baby for hosting. It's a really beautiful spread. And getting all the boys together is a big mitzvah just in itself. Just having the boys together in one room, under one room, is already a big nest.
Amen.
You know? So you should have only happiness in this house, only good things. Man, hopefully we'll be here for another baby soon. Right?
Man.
And same to pedals, that's it.
Same to Pels. What, he's expecting?
Just had a baby.
Just had one? Very nice. So the house, it's just the whole building.
Where's Pedals? Let's come up.
Does it have a third
They're
floor?
banging him?
I saw
What did he say? He's not coming?
He said he's
Esther.
doing things.
And thanks to Ali Russo for sponsoring the night. Harry, you picked the sponsor, so where do you want it to go?
Hatzalah.
Hatzalah?
Yeah.
Very nice. Jazakallah. 201 to Hatzalah.
He made an actual turkey. Amazing. Probably didn't.
So, money goes to Hatzalah. Jazakallah. Nothing like Hatzalah. It's straight, Shem Shemayim. Can't go wrong with Hatzalah. It's clear cut. Money goes right to the organization. That's it. Alright guys, tonight we're going to speak about an interesting topic. I was very skeptic if I should say it or not, if I use this class or not. I prepared 2 classes on Chayesel. One more like a class, believe me, I already wrote it down. There was one class just on like a lesson type of class, what can you learn? And another class on a deeper level of what really is going on in the whole parasha. So I decided to go with the deeper one. Because the lesson is good to get a lesson. Sometimes you gotta spice it up a little bit. Sometimes it's good to get a little bit of juice. No one gets the juice, so I'm here to give it the juice. But I want to give you guys a concept before we start the class. There's always, I told you one time before, wherever you want to find what something is, you have to go back to the first time it's written in Torah. If you want to know what a rock is, go the first time you see a rock in Bereshit, and over there, whatever happened around that rock, that's whatever. That's
Why
what
it's
the
there?
Whatever happened around the rock. If it's
Go back
water,
to reference the original.
whatever happened in the original scenario, that's what that thing is about. Meaning you learn from there what it comes from, what it's made of, what it does, everything that's around that topic. So for instance, if you want to know what water is, you go to the first pasuk, second pasuk. That's where you learn the whole thing of water. Everything's written in there. So tonight, we're going to speak about Hamachpela. The first time that Hamachpela is written in Torah is in this parasha. So obviously, this scenario, it tells you everything that goes on about Hamachpela. You ever go to Hebron in Israel? Anyone ever go there recently?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you went there, you need a nice
bulletproof
no?
The bulletproof
You can go.
bus.
You can go. It's a dangerous road. It's a very dangerous road. You can take a bulletproof bus, whatever it is, or a taxi, however you get there. And when you get there, you see this beautiful, this huge building, a monument. It's like a castle, right?
I don't think I didn't remember going inside the Hebron.
Are you a Kohen?
Yeah.
That's why.
You can't go to
You
Hebron.
can go. Oh, to Hebron.
No, you can't go.
You can't go into the building.
It's not a time for that.
So these days, if you go there, it's a big building. However, the grave is not actually in the building.
All the way down,
It's
no?
all the way down the
Is
ground.
it guarded by Israelis?
Not only is it not
No,
only
but there's
better off,
or whatever, it's like really dead.
not the actual grave. Tonight we're gonna.
The site is
I can explain to you. There's a building where everyone can walk in. It's a regular building.
like
Who
Kibbutz Rachel,
occupies it right now? Israelis.
Both sides are Israeli and Arab. On one side it's Arab, on one side it's Israeli. There's always fights going on. There's always things going on there. However, the building on top of the surface is just a building. You look at a tomb, it's nothing there.
Tourist trap.
The real Ma'ara, the real cave, is inside the ground, and underneath the ground, that's where the real burials are.
So whereas they never went to
You
go
can't
for
go
it.
there. No one can go there. No one goes there. It's a very, very holy place. And now, tonight we have a class on what happened down there.
What about women that's Kohen? They're allowed to go?
No, can't go. There's a certain place we're calling, but they don't go. However, so let's go back to the class.
But
So
it's been on the ground like this for...
that's how it is. That's since
From Abraham?
since the Abraham Adam Mishon. That's how it is. You don't go there, so you don't know what it looks like. But we just built on top of it. The monument is built on top of it, so you can go on top.
I have a question, a little off topic though.
Yeah.
If the grave is so low
right?
and the Kohanim can't go. There could be bodies anywhere. I don't get it. What do they do?
One of the Gemaras I brought answers
Talks about it?
answers your question.
So,
One of the
I wasn't
Gemaras I
the
brought.
first one to think about it.
It's a good question.
You're
Good question.
What do you mean anywhere? Like you're saying, you walk in
Oh, you
Ocean
could walk
Park,
in
right?
He's saying the grave's all the way down, better off all the way down.
Right,
Who
you
knows
don't
what
know-
happened?
You don't know,
500
like you go
years
to
ago.
Germany, there's a million
Right.
Jews buried in the middle of
You
the
don't know
street.
who was buried there, right?
Yeah, it's
You don't know
One-
where there's a
One of the
barrel.
Gemaras I brought
Right.
answered
Talk
that
about
question.
that.
Well,
Deep,
it's only for me and
Yeah, but the question
Tonight's a deep
is,
class.
how do you become tameh? If it's covered completely, maybe you don't become tameh.
So then
It
why
goes-
can't you go to Marat Machpelah?
It goes up all the way to
That's because
Magos.
they're Arabs.
That's the question.
It goes up all the way to
You
Magos.
can't go to Marat because it's covered.
You're a real guy.
You're in a house. When you're in a house, whatever's in that room is tameh. But if it's just a cemetery, you walk down the avenue,
You
big
can't.
cemetery.
No,
You
it's
can't.
I could stay on the side and not be on top of it.
No, you can't.
You can.
They look like Albanians.
If I'm not directly on top of the graves, there's no problem.
right.
You're going?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This guy knows his stuff.
So bottom line, if you go there, you're just standing on a monument that's built on top of the grave. It's on the bottom. Back in the day, they didn't have that monument. They had an open circle in the floor, open hole, and you can see, you can see a cave, but you can't go into it. It was always guarded since back in the day. It was always guarded. Even the Arabs used to guard it because they know it was a holy place.
Wow.
You're gonna have stories tonight about what happened to people that went inside of it.
Wow.
But if you go today,
Besides this house?
yeah, later on. If you go today, there's still an area where there's an opening.
So it's 100% there.
It's there.
They know for sure.
People know it's there. Just no one goes there. First of all, no one goes there because you just don't go there.
Sacred ground.
There's sacred ground there. And second of all, you don't go there because it's guarded now. It's guarded.
They won't let anyone in.
There's 13 steps that go down to this second.
So who
level.
built it? Who built
The original monument was built by Herod in the times of the Second Temple.
the one that we're looking at now?
Well, no,
is
he
built
built
by
it.
Herod.
If you look at
Oh,
the
wow.
stone of the
Sick.
Hamachpela, the stone is the same one at the Kotel.
Have you been there?
Because he
Wow.
built it.
Oh,
I went there
wow.
one time, yeah. What?
Where is it? Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there one time, yeah. But he built that actual monument. Before he built it, it was just ground.
Wow.
That's it. Tonight we're going to continue, okay? The Pasha speaks about Chayesa. This is a very, very nice Pasha tonight. We have a lot of questions tonight. Any questions? You can ask it.
Russo's not here, don't
just
worry.
just let's get to these books. So Pashat Chayesa speaks about the death of Sarah. Question. Sarah Imenu. We all know the famous story. What happened? Abraham takes Yitzchak to Agdat Yitzchak on the mountain. He's going to do the whole Akedah, the whole shechting thing, right? And at that same moment, Sarah Imenu, at the same time, she's in Hebron. And she goes to a huge giant. His name is Og. And she goes to him, she tells Og, what do you see going on in Yerushalayim? She goes, what do you see going on over there? And Og goes, he looks, and he just looks, because he can see very, very far. And he sees in Yerushalayim on a mountain. He goes, I see on Har Moriah, I see an old man with a sword in his hand, and he has a mizbeach, and he has a boy laid on top of him, resting on the mizbeach, and he's about to take a knife. And Sarah says, yeah, what happened? And he says, I see him reaching with a knife and, going towards the kid. He wasn't a kid, he was 40 years old, 37 years old. But he's reaching towards the body. And she says, yeah, what happened? What happened? And he says, I don't know, all of a sudden, he stopped. He didn't continue. At that moment, Parcha Nishmata, she passed away.
Wow.
At that moment, she passed away. It says at that moment, when she found out that that Abraham stopped, she passed away. She doesn't know what happened in the story. She passed away before it happened. Pasha starts off, Vayu Chayei Sarah, Me'ah Shana, Esim Shana, V'Sheva Shanim. That was her years of life. She lived for 127 years. That's the end of her life.
That's when she passed
That's when she passed away.
Wow.
Passed away.
Right, on behalf of her son.
She passed away just together with Akedah. Famous question. We all learned that she died. Why? Because she heard that her son's getting slaughtered by Abraham, and out of frightening, out of
It's
pain,
the opposite.
out of pain, she had a heart attack and died. That's what it sounds like on the simple level, right? Tonight we're going to get a different answer. Tzvai Menu, of course, if tons of generations in Jewish history, women were ready to sacrifice themselves and also their children so that they wouldn't get converted. Hannah, you ever hear of Hannah and 7 of her children? Hannah had 7 children. The king wanted to convert each one. Each one of them killed themselves, and Hannah also. They all died because they did not want to get converted. So if Hannah and her 7 children were ever to sacrifice her lives. What, Sarah Yemina wasn't ready to die on Kiddush Hashem? She wasn't ready to hear that her son's going to get killed for Hashem? So what, Sarah had a problem? If her son's going to die on for Hashem's reasoning, that's going to kill her? Doesn't make any sense to us. Sarah was a huge lady. Sarah was a huge tzaddik, one of the biggest ones in the world.
She should understand.
She should definitely understand, and if not she understands, she should be happy that her son reached that kind of level. That his son was so happy to die. The test was not for his son, the test was for Abraham. You know why? Because Yitzchak, for him, wasn't a test. He was ready to do it. Hashem said it, I'm doing it.
Also Abraham though.
Abraham, it was a test on him, because he had to take his son, which is much harder. The son was ready to go, but he had to take his son, which is a much harder test.
Elmer said the other night, it's easier to die after Kiddush
Right,
Hashem
than to live.
Yeah.
It's easier, yeah.
It's happy
Yeah.
dying after Kiddush Hashem.
It's easy for him, but for him, Abraham, he had
Abraham
to.
was living
have to
his
deal with
life
this, yeah.
after Kiddush Hashem.
Yeah. So what happens? Now if we understand the answer now, different answer. What's the real answer? How come Sarah passed away? Sarah raised her kid to get to a certain level. She raised her son to get to a certain level. Now she goes to Og and she finds out what happened to the Akedah, what happened to my son, and she's telling him, tell me what's going on. And he tells her, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. And she's so excited. She can't wait for the moment where her son is able to reach the highest level, you could possibly reach and return himself back to Hashem. And she's finding out that all of a sudden Abraham stops. You know what she thinks? Maybe
He didn't believe.
Yitzchak is a pasul for Korban. Maybe he wasn't ready to be a mizbeach. Again, to be a Korban, you have to be perfectly tahor, kadosh.
Well, maybe Abraham failed the test, so he stopped.
She knew Abraham wouldn't fail because Abraham was Abraham Avinu. She knew who her husband was. He jumped into the fire and came out. He was ready to die for any moment. But when she saw that Abraham didn't slaughter Yitzchak, she figured, wait, if he didn't slaughter Yitzchak, must be Yitzchak has a blemish. Maybe he was afraid, maybe he moved, or maybe he wasn't ready to die yet. So at that moment, when she figured out Yitzchak wasn't ready to be Korban, she said, wow, I failed in my job. From the pain of Yitzchak not getting slaughtered, she passed away.
Wow.
She passed away because Yitzchak wasn't a Korban on Mizveh. Because she figured Yitzchak was Yitzchak Avinu, he's going to be Akedah Yitzchak. All of a sudden now she figures out that Yitzchak is not dying. What happened? Maybe something wrong with him? And that pain caused her to die. But really she didn't understand that the test was not to slaughter the son. It says only the test says, bring Yitzchak to be on top of the Mizbech, and that's it. So Abraham fulfilled the test. Just by bringing him onto the top of the altar, that was the test. That's finished. That answers the question why Sarah passed away. She passed away out of pain of not seeing her son accomplish what she thought was the mission. Good? That was the first question. Second question. Now the parasha starts. Abraham Avinu comes back from the Akedah, and he finds out that his wife passed away. And he goes to bury her, to eulogize her, and to do whatever he has for the funeral. Pasuk specifies exactly what happened. It says, Vayavo Abraham lispod lesara v'lifkota. Abraham comes back from the Akedah, and he comes to eulogize her and to cry. But it says, if you look at the parasha, there's a small little kaf. You see a little small little kaf? There's a tiny little letter. You'll see in the parasha. There's a tiny little letter, and that letter tells you that he cried a little bit. He didn't cry a lot. He cried a little bit. That's why it's written down like that.
So cool.
The question is why? Why did he cry a little bit? And also another question is, it doesn't say what he eulogized her. It just says Vayavo Abraham. Abraham came to eulogize her and cried a little bit. That's it. Then it goes on to another topic. Question is, what did he eulogize his wife? You want to know if you want.
Obvious. What do you mean?
Wait,
Son died.
So what's a
She
eulogy?
died. I mean, that's why.
So what's a eulogy?
He eulogized your wife and.
What did he say?
Oh, what was?
What was the eulogy? If you're gonna say he eulogized her, so tell us what he eulogized. Imagine would you want to know what Abraham told Sarah when she passed away? Imagine what he could tell her. Thank you for all the hello. Thank you for everything you did. Thank you for. Imagine how much things he can say. Nothing. Doesn't say one thing. You know what the answer is? He doesn't have to say anything. Where'd he come from? He just came from Akedah Yitzchak. He just came from a moment of him taking his son to be, to die on Kiddush Hashem. She was able to raise a son that could reach that level, that he's ready to die, That's the only eulogy you can say. You know what the eulogy was? That he came from Agdai Yitzchak. That she was able to raise his son to be on that kind of level. You don't need to say
Crazy,
anything.
it's the opposite because she thought she failed at her job.
She thought she failed, but that's what she thought. Abraham comes from Abraham came from a place. That was the eulogy. It says, what's the eulogy? Sarah. Just saying her name, Sarah. When you say Sarah, that's the eulogy. Everything is involved. Everything. You'll need. Sometimes if you say too much, you're gonna ruin it. If you just say enough, that's what it means. I'll give you an example. And sometimes in the rabbis in the Gemara, some of them don't have a name for rabbi. They call him Hillel. Have you heard the name Hillel? You Bet Hillel, Bet Shammai. Some rabbis they don't call Rabbi Hillel. It's not Rabbi Shammai. It's just Hillel. Yes, why not call him Rabbi Hillel? It's more proper to call him Rabbi. Just call him Hillel. It's like me calling you Isaac. Rabbi Isaac, right? It should be.
Should be Rabbi.
Should be Rabbi Isaac.
Bottom line, Rabbi Charles.
No. And the answer is, because if you call him Rabbi, you're going to minimize from what his stature is. If you call him Rabbi, you put a title on him. But if you call him Hillel, just Hillel. His name is enough already to say. You don't got to put a title to say he's a Rabbi Hillel. You don't need that.
So we shouldn't call anyone rabbi.
No. Some people. Bottom line, to get back to the topic is, Sarah is the eulogy.
Kind of like also like Chacham Ovadia. Don't say Rabbi Ovadia.
Right, say Hamad, right. He's including everything. I'll give you a short little clips. There was once a rabbi about 20, 30 years ago. His name was Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. And his wife passed away before him. They're married for about 65 years. 65 years they're married. And when they came to the eulogy, everyone was coming to hear what he's going to eulogize his wife. They're known to be like a happy couple their whole life. He comes to the eulogy, to the hesped, and he says one thing. He says, usually, but they ask for mechila from the person asks for mechila if they did anything wrong. He says on the podium, I do not have to ask anything for you mechila, and you have nothing and I have nothing to mochel you. I know that I did nothing to hurt you, and you did nothing to hurt me.
Wow.
That's it. Imagine that. 65 years, and he can confirm,
Wow.
I never hurt you,
Wow.
and you never hurt me in your life.
After 2 weeks of marriage, I couldn't even
No one could do that.
Are there other eulogies in the Torah?
Ba Miriam? No, not that much. No, there's not that many. No. There isn't any moments that the Torah specifies also that they eulogized.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Here they specify that he eulogized, but doesn't say what he did.
Okay.
That was the difference here. So you see from here sometimes that the eulogy itself is not really important what you say, it's about who the person is.
Right.
Good? Everyone's got that point?
Maybe it teaches you the mitzvah to eulogize over there.
It's a good answer. It's a very good answer. I like that
First
answer.
time they did it, first time someone mooted.
But how you know it's the first time someone mooted?
Okay, first time a Jewish person close to Abraham mooted, yeah. The first Jew.
Jew or Jew, maybe.
I hear.
Yeah.
Good question. It's good.
Not a
Good.
question, it's
I'm saying good pointer. I like that
Who
one.
else died before that in the Torah? Honestly?
Cain.
Wow.
Cain.
They
Come
weren't
on.
Jewish,
They
were they?
weren't Jewish,
We
but
didn't talk about another.
This is the first Jew, that's what I'm
the
trying to
first
say.
Brit Milah. But actually, it's not true because Noah had Brit Milah also. So
Yeah, no,
This is the first Jew, the first Jew.
he wasn't Jewish until there was no Jews. There was no really Jews until Moshe.
This
It's
is
still
the
tough.
first looking
story.
for
Still tough. Yeah.
It was the Hebrews.
Bottom line, by the way, you asked a question. I'll give you a little chidush. When Cain wanted to kill Hevel, he didn't know how to kill him. You know why? Because no one ever killed before. There was never death in the world.
Right.
It never happened. So he didn't know how to kill him. You know what it says in Midrash? He took a rock and he started hitting him on his body. Hit him in his ears. He started bleeding from his ears. Hitting on his nose. He started hitting him all over the whole body. He doesn't know how to kill him.
Wow.
Until he hit him on his heart, and that's how he killed him.
Wow.
Now that Cain's dead on the floor, they don't know what to do. What do you do? Just leave him? They don't know what to bury him because it never happened before.
Right.
So his parents came, Adam and Chava came, and they're just watching this body. And they're crying and they don't know how to take care of this body.
Wow.
Listen to this chidush. You know what happened? Came a raven, or whatever, a raven came, and just at that same spot, it killed its counterpart, another raven, and immediately it dug a hole and put the raven inside.
Wow.
When Adam and Chava saw that, they realized that's what we have to do, and they covered Cain.
Nice.
That's power.
Little bit of chidush.
Hevel, no, didn't he?
No, Cain killed Hevel.
Yeah, so they come.
Sorry,
Hevel.
so Hevel's body,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Good. Okay, that was a little off topic now. Let's go back to topic now. Good? Now this is the whole class starting. You ready, guys? This is a subject.
Deep good.
There's one pasuk and there's one word that I want to specify, and I want to speak about this one word. That's it. Whole class is on one exact word. You know, whenever the Torah speaks about something, it never mentions an extra word. It doesn't say anything extra. Everything that's written in the Torah has a reason for it. If there's a letter extra, you learn something from it. Good? So let me ask you a question. The pasuk says like this. Vayakom Avraham me'al pene meto. Avraham got up from the face of his dead Sarah. Does anyone know what word is extra here?
Say it again.
Avraham got up. Vayakom Avraham. Avraham got up. Me'al pene meto. From the face of the dead Sarah.
Face.
What's extra here?
Pene.
Pene?
I
Me'al.
don't think you're
Got
explaining it the right way.
Got
The
up.
Targum in English is
Vayakom Avraham. Avraham got up. Me'al from pene meto. From the
Me'al.
face of the dead Sarah. The face of his death.
Me'al. There's a me. Instead of me'al, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think it's
Sarah.
face.
Avraham.
The answer.
Obviously, they're talking about Sarah.
Me'al, yeah.
Obviously, Sarah is dead, right in front of him. But it says Abraham got up from the face of Sarah.
Vayakom then.
You just got up.
So
That's
the
it.
answer is what Jack said. Jackie said.
Now,
Pene. Why not? Why say the face? What does it matter if it's the face? What
Most getting extra credit tonight.
What does it matter if it's the pinky, if it's the foot, if it's the leg, if it's the stomach? Why you gotta tell me that he got up from the face of Sarah? Just say he got up from Sarah. He got up. Vayakom Avraham me'al meto. He got up from the death of Sarah.
Maybe because Sarah, she was known for her beauty when she was 100.
That's a nice question, but she's dead already. That's it. Once you're dead, once a person's
So that
dead,
means they get up from a face anyway. You're not on a face.
Yeah, that's why.
right, doesn't make any sense. What? Someone's actually
Yeah.
on the face looking, and he gets up and leaves. Like, what happened over here? So I want to highlight the whole class is on this word, pene. Pene. Abraham got up from the face
She wasn't buried.
of Sarah. She wasn't buried. Still, why write the right face? Just write. You got
You
up.
said body, you know.
Throw out body. Mal gufo.
It's an
Mal.
indication of death. The face is
Ah.
the eyes.
They didn't know what death looked like.
No, they knew already. That was already. It's already later on. It's already later on.
See a
Okay.
dead leg.
Tonight we're getting into the topic right now. I want everyone to try to stick as much as they can. Elliot, whatever you hear, if you don't understand, you can answer after. Okay? Don't ask any parents. Don't ask anyone else because probably no one else will hear this before. Okay?
Sure.
I'm just giving you a heads up. Most people have never heard this topic. Not that I know, but if you research it, you'll find it. It's in the Gemara. But people think it's Kabbalah or it's Zohar. It's not. It's Gemara. Talmud Bavli. It's written by Tanaim. Okay? It's written there. I'm going to show it to you. However, what is going on over here? It says Abraham gets up from the face of Sarah. Why does it mention the face? What's going on over here? Tonight we're going to answer the question. You ready, guys? Shidush.
Book one.
Gemara speaks about what happens when a person passes away. The second before a person passes away, what happens? How does a person pass away? After 120, the Shem everyone goes in the right time. After 120, however, the Gemara speaks about what happens exactly at that moment. How does the neshama? How does everything happen? Simple question. How does it happen? What happens? Tonight you can hear exactly what the Gemara says, not me, not anything else. Whatever the Gemara says, I'm reading. Okay? It says, when a person is sick on its deathbed, Hashem sends a messenger. Sends a little shaliach. Anyone know his name? Memem. Malach HaMavet. It says exactly what it says. Malach HaMavet, it says, Shekulo Maleh Enayim. He has tons of eyes. He's a bunch of eyes. That's what it looks like. Just tons of eyes. I'm not going to get into what it means, but it just says that Malach HaMavet is one big, tons of eyes. Okay? Now what happens? When a sick person's coming to the time when he has to go, B'sha'ah p'tiyato shel choleh. When the person has to go, the Malach HaMavet comes. When he comes, what happens? The choleh, the person that's sick, he sees
No way.
the Malach HaMavet. Wow. It says, Omed me'al me'ashotav. He's standing on top of his head, like he's standing above his body, and he sees him. And out of fright from seeing the memem, opens his mouth. He's afraid. What it says, V'charvo shtufa b'yado. The Malach HaMavet has a sword. Charvo, it's head of a sword. It's held in his hand. This is the Gemara. It's not me saying it. Deep concept.
They open their mouth.
Listen to what the Gemara says.
Wow.
Malach has, again, it's not physical. We can't see. It's spiritual concepts. But the Malach has a sword, and he puts it over the face of the Choleh. And out of the sword, as if it's like a syringe, comes a tipa, drop of mavet, a drop, and it goes into the mouth of the Choleh. And it says, and I'm going to read exactly what it says. V'tipa shemara, a drop of this mara, comes out and goes into the mouth. Now what happens? From that drop, automatically the person passes away at that moment.
It's only for a sick person or in general?
It speaks to that person that has to go.
Or if there's
If it's not a sick person, then
explosion.
it's different topic,
death.
different from someone that's sick. So what happens? The drop is the first drop, takes the person away, takes the neshama away from the body. That's it. Mavet, passed away. Now, the drop continues. It's in the body still. What does it do? It makes the body masriach.
Decompose.
Makes it smell. The body smells from that drop. Third thing the body does, the drop does to the body, it changes the color of the face. Panim marakot. Changes the color of the face. Yellow and green, all these different colors.
Right.
Not greenish, but
Isn't it white?
all different colors.
It's gray.
All different colors. It says here panim morakot. Whatever it means. Different colors. Okay?
Creepy class.
Now,
Get nightmares tonight.
no. It's Gemara, Avodah Zarah, Gemara Masech Avodah Zarah, Daf Kaf. That's what it says.
Still going in the night.
How does this connect? How does this connect to the parasha?
Hold on, when Abraham was passing away, it said he tasted the taste of death. Is that what it meant? Because it's instant death, he said.
Plus it gets the drop. Maybe it's the drop.
You're gonna see tonight.
It says that, doesn't it say that in the Quran?
Let the class go. You're gonna see the class.
But also, there was no sickness which like brought death until Yaakov.
No, they can't.
It's a good thing.
I'm saying it was just Sarah was
You're getting to it. But this is Gemara time. It's already
No, I know.
lunch long. Again, this is what the Gemara says. What happens when a choleh is about to go? That's what it says. How does it connect to the page? To our question. What was our original question? Why does it say the word peneh? Why does it say the face? It says Vayakum Avraham me'al peneh meto. Why does it say the face? Before I give you the answer, I want to give you an introduction. Anyone that gets buried in Manat Machpela has to have a certain criteria to get buried in there. It's called, you need to pass away on mitat neshika. He has to pass away only with mitat neshika, which is the only death that it
What does
is.
it mean?
It means Hashem himself takes you away. It means there's no malach hamavet, there's no sword,
Wow.
there's nothing.
No way.
Hashem
No.
comes, he kisses him, it's called mitat neshika. Kiss. He
Wow.
kisses, passes away.
Wow.
It's like, I'll give you an example of what it says. It's like a fruit on a tree. When a fruit, right, he grows to its potential, what does it happen? What happens to the fruit? Wow, I hear order.
I forgot this one.
I was screaming, something going on.
You gotta brighten the mood of this room,
Yeah.
you know?
What happens to a fruit?
It's getting too dark.
Not depressing. This is it's a beautiful Torah. You're gonna see how everything connects. When a fruit gets to potential, what happens? Doop! It just on its own disconnects and falls to the ground. No pain and suffering. Just doesn't get pulled. No one pulls it. On itself, it just falls from the tree. That's the comparison of a Tat Neshika. When it's ready, doop, it just goes. Tzaddikim that were holy just went. Baba Sali told his son, take him to the hospital. About 90 years old. They said, we didn't take him to the hospital. You're perfectly fine. He said, no, I gotta go. He said, well, you're perfectly fine. I went to the doctors, I went to the hospital, they checked his heart, EKG, everything was intact. Took off his watch, gave it to his son, and said, I'm going. And he passed away.
No way.
Baba Sali, that was only 30 years ago. He passed away in the 1970s. People who are eyewitnesses to the story. People that are still alive saw him. His shamash is still alive. So it's in existence. Tzaddikim, when they're,
He's on a different level.
when they're holy levels, that's it. Their time to go, they got to go.
Is the Malach Hamavet evil?
He's a messenger.
He's not evil.
He just
He's not the Grim
He
Reaper.
He's doing his job.
He just does his job.
It's like the
Grim Reaper is just Gosha concept, yeah. But you'd be surprised. It is. It is.
That's the.
In English, it is the Grim Reaper. That's what you call
That's
it.
what it is. The guy who goes.
Yeah. Let's continue the class.
He doesn't look like that.
He's not evil.
He just does his job.
No, he
You
doesn't
know the
look
guy
like
with the sword?
From Family Guy?
He
Dad?
doesn't look like that.
It's not that from Family Guy?
No, you watch too many cartoons.
No, the guy, Family Guy's, I think the one image everyone's thinking.
Yeah.
The fork with
Yeah,
the
guy-
sword. Okay, let's get back to the answer.
Yeah.
Everyone's ready? By the way, don't stop the flow. We're in the flow right now. We're in the climax of the class. Again, the question was, what does it say the extra word of the face? Okay, we just spoke a Gemara that explains what happens with Melach HaMavet, right? Now, here's the answer. I just said anyone that gets buried in Marat Machpelah has to have the criteria of dying on Mitat Neshika. Okay? Comes Abraham Avinu and he wants to bury Sarah. Again, he didn't bury her yet, and he didn't buy her grave yet. He's thinking where he should bury her. Okay? Comes back to Sarah.
Didn't you buy the grave already?
Didn't buy the grave
You
yet.
bought the land. No?
Adam and Chava are already in the grave.
He doesn't know if he should bury her because even though she's dead, her face is different.
Only Adam and Chava are buried in there. No one else is buried. Abraham never bought the grave yet. He bought it after.
Isn't the land that Abraham bought in Hebron when he traveled
Yeah,
with Sarah?
but he bought it right after.
Look at that.
He bought it right after.
Close, no? From far, no?
So what's the answer? Abraham comes to Sarah now. She's lying on the floor. She passed away. And he goes to find out, where can I bury Sarah? If I want to bury her in Yerushalayim, I can bury her in Yerushalayim. But he wants to know, is he able to bury her in the same grave as Adam Bechava, which is Marat Machpelah? So he has to find out. How does he go find out and check?
She's if her mouth is
He has
open.
to go find her face. Go look
Color
at
of
her
the
face.
face.
Go look at the face. If he goes to the face and he sees that her face changed colors, that means that she didn't die in Tat Neshika. She didn't die from Hashem, meaning she wasn't kissed by Hashem. She died
Gosh, it's insane.
on Malach HaMavet. And he can't bury her in Marat Machpelah. So what does he do? He goes, Vayakom Avraham me'al penei meto. He goes, look at her face.
Wow.
And he goes, sees her face, and her face is perfectly intact.
Wow.
No touch, no smell,
And how did he know
nothing.
this though?
Abraham Avinu. It's Abraham Avinu. Abraham Avinu. We don't understand these places. Vayakom Avraham me'al penei meto. He goes to look at her face. Looks at her face. Her face is totally intact. No smell, no changing the color. Sarai Meno was still intact. The way her beautiful face was. The next pasuk says, "Vayakom vayelech leEphron." He goes to Ephron to buy Mat Machpelah. Why? Why did he buy it after? Because if he bought it beforehand, you wouldn't know if he can bury her or not. The minute he found out that she died on Mitat Neshika, he immediately ran to Ephron and he paid any money. He paid 400 shekel kesef, which was back then millions and millions of dollars.
Who owned it?
That's
Ephron.
the figure? It says the figure?
Abamod check shekel
Didn't you buy the
That's
land
like
before
40
she died? They went, the whole story to say you're my sister.
Does it take into fact inflation?
No, do I have the order of
course.
the thing wrong?
No, they used to buy a
Rock it up.
pizza,
Right,
two
but
slices,
order
fries, and a drink for a
That
quarter.
story happened after.
Grandma.
That's the-
He runs to Ephron.
Give me any clue. Like, oh,
But give me
yeah.
See, all that happens after.
Well, no,
you
you
got
buy it for
inflation.
over 100 million.
Parashat just started.
Go before.
The one that was Abraham went with Sarah with
To
Paro.
be able to get pizza
It's
like
totally
that.
different than Machpelah.
$5 you get two slices and a drink.
Check out.
I'm just gonna have coffee today.
It's crazy.
I have to brush up on my
I
parasha.
have
Bound to be like a king.
Look,
I have to like
Abam
finalize.
Oitzel Kesef comes after
I think you
this.
get the cheese fries.
I thought they went down
That
together.
thing's not
Now, Israel,
Ram and Chava.
Israel?
Chevron.
The
You
government?
sell your kid?
No, that's
Not for sale.
My kid's on a piece of property.
Just sell your house?
Not on the
Yeah, you would sell it. Sell my house. If I get a number, I would sell it.
No, but there's certain things that are just not for sale.
We're good, guys? We're good?
Ram and Chava, very good.
That's the answer to our main question. Why did it say the name face? To tell you that no word in Torah is for extra. Nothing's extra. If it says face, there's a reason why it says face. And that's the reason. Abraham had to know if he can bury her in that grave or not. And he checked, and she was perfectly able to get buried there. And he took her, and he buried her. And that was the beauty of one word in the Torah. Peneh. It says face, he knew exactly what he was doing. And that's the beauty of everyone that was buried in Machpelah. Adam, Chava, Avraham, Sarah, Rivka, Yaakov, Yitzchak, all of them were died on Mitat Neshika, which is a kiss from Hashem. They say that what Mitat Neshika is, it's like having a glass of milk and a hair falls in the milk. Right? You pull out the hair, nothing. It's like nothing, right? Pulling hair from milk. However, a normal person, they say it's like pulling a thorn from cotton ball. When you pull a thorn from cotton ball, you got to pull the thorn and it pulls out some cotton also. It's not just an easy thing.
Right.
But in Tat Neshika, it's pulling out
Has there been
hair.
any
from
rabbis
halal.
recently in the past
No.
500 years or something?
The tzaddik, it says only 7, had the Moshe Rabbeinu, Aharon, Miriam, all the
That's it.
Avot, those have Tat Neshika. So that's the reason why it says Pene.
How about that head?
Pasuk.
Eliyahu maybe.
Good question.
Like
Why did it say that?
you know?
It says that Esav, his head is buried.
The head of
His
Esav.
head is buried in Hamachpela. And how? If he wasn't intact,
If you want to roll, didn't it roll?
so his
there?
body
It was
wasn't.
kicked
His
like
body
this.
wasn't. But they chopped off his head and it rolled and it got into Hamachpela. You know why? Esav, you should know that Esav, he grew up on the knees of who?
Yeah.
Who? No.
That means
Yitzchak.
His father was Yitzchak Avinu. He grew up on his knees until 13.
He married.
Until 13, he never left the house. Meaning, him and Yaakov were together on the same knee, learning the same Torah from Yitzchak Avinu.
Yeah.
So his head was full of kedusha, but
His body
body was a sin.
Wow.
Not only that, Esav had a very big zechut of kibud avayim. He's one of the only people that ever did kibud avayim on that level. When Yitzchak used to ask for a cup of water, he used to put on a jacket. Imagine how your father wanted a cup of water, you put on a tuxedo. Every time he wants a cup of water, he put on a tuxedo. That's what it was for him to put on a jacket every time to go in. So you see from now, Esav had a high level. That's the answer to the question. To our 3 questions. One question is, how did Sarah pass away? She passed away because Yitzchak wasn't slaughtered, and she wanted to see that accomplishment. The second question was, what did Abraham eulogize? The eulogize was that Sarah Imenu raised the son to get to that level. And the third question, why did it say the word peneh? Because Abraham Avinu had to find out what was the situation of Sarah. Was she able to get buried in Hamachpela or not? That's the answer.
Wow.
Answer is that the Gemara brings the situation that explains that the face changes colors, and the fact that the face didn't change colors, she was totally intact. By the way, what does the word panim mean? Does anyone know why they call the face the panim? Does anyone know why it's called panim?
He's got 7 holes.
No. Even the close.
Yeah, we gotta refer
Why
to
is the panim called the panim? There's another word for panim. It's called, the reason why it says panim, it's because it shows you, the face is a reflection of what's inside of you. So if you want to say something is inside, how do you say it's inside? Bifnim. So if you want to say bifnim, it's inside. Panim is a reflection of what's inside.
It's true.
So when he says, when another answer to this question is, when Abraham goes to the peneh of Sarah to go look at her face, he wanted her to go see how she passed away.
Yeah.
Is her inside reflecting her outside? When he saw her face, that her face was totally intact, he realized that her face was a reflection of her inside. It means she was on a holy level.
Nice.
That's just another answer. Good? Now I want to answer the question that we had before. I think Isaac asked the question. That was the topic with Abraham. Anyone have any questions on this topic that we just spoke about? No? Good. Hope everyone understood it. Everyone understood that question?
Yeah.
We learned that there's no extra words. Panav, why we learned.
Right. Peneh. Now I want to give 2 stories, guys, of what happened in the special underneath. Okay. So first I'll give you a story that happened 500 years ago. Oh, you know what? I'll give you a story of the Gemara first, which is 2,000 years ago. And then I'll give you a story of a story that happened 500 years ago. So we'll start from older to newer. Good? Now Isaac asked the question. He asked, isn't there people that are buried? Maybe there's other tumah. Maybe the Kohen goes there. You might not know what happens. Right? It's a good question. I want to tell you what happened in this story. But Hashem, I can find it, then everyone's happy. Alright, here. I have to read it for you because inside the words are amazing. There was a rabbi. His name was Rabbi Bena'ah. Everyone's good right now? Everyone's happy? Harry, you good? Shalib, you good?
Yeah, get out.
His name was Rabbi Bena'ah. This rabbi was a famous Tana in the Gemara. And his job was, he took upon himself, that he's going to go ahead and mark where a grave ends and finishes. Every single grave in Israel.
You told me, you said this once.
Maybe he did, maybe he
Thank
didn't.
you, Maya.
He went,
Not the story, but
he measured every single grave. Why? For this exact reason. People used to walk and they don't know where the grave started and ended. So it could be that Kohen walked and he's walking on Tumah. So they don't know where the grave starts, where it ended, what's going on. So every grave you go in Israel today that has a monument or has a space, It's marked from Rabbi Benah. He marked each and every grave. That's fine. That's all good and dandy, right? There's one grave that he has to go mark. He has to mark where it starts and where it ends. And what grave is that? Hamachpela.
Right.
Imagine going into Mama. He has to mark where it starts, meaning not where the monument starts, not where the bricks start, where the actual dirt of the body starts.
Wow.
And we just learned when no one goes down there. No, even back in those days, in the Gemara time, no one went down there. This Rabbi Benah, prepared himself well enough to go into that grave. And I'm going to speak whatever happens. Again, it's not me, it's the Gemara saying it. Whatever happened, he tells you. Rabbi Benah hava kamatzayim ma'ata. He used to go and mark the graves. He comes to the grave of Hamachpela. He decided to go inside, go down the steps. And what does he get when he gets inside? Again, the reason why it's called Marat Hamachpela is because it's called Machpela. It's kefil. There's two caves. Why is it called Marat Hamachpela?
Kaful.
Why is it kaful kefil? Machpela means there's two graves. Why is there two caves? Because there's one outer cave and there's an inner cave. The outer cave is where we go today, and there's an inner cave where the actual people are buried. So he went into the Machpela, the actual inner cave. And when he gets there, what does he see? Ashkacha leEliezer Eved Abraham.
Wow.
He gets there and he sees Eliezer, the Eved of Abraham, the servant of Abraham. He sees him. He's right there. And he's by the grave and he tells him, what are you doing here? What's your business doing over here? And he tells him, I'm here on a holy mission to mark the graves, like you know I do. And I need to mark for the purpose of Tumah and Kedusha. According to the Torah, I have to follow Torah, and I have to mark the grave. And he says, let me go ask permission. So he goes to, I'm not going to read each word because it's Aramaic, it's tough to read.
Which Kohen would ever go in?
Not a Kohen, Rabbi Benah.
I'm
Hana.
saying, so what does he have to
No,
if
no,
he's
no,
marking it
over
for
it.
the
No, so
point
nobody
of-
walks above it.
No one walks above it.
The
So it's
secondary
in, you have
cave.
to go down, and he's talking
Yeah, but
about
no one's gonna walk
Again,
above
again,
Marat Hamachpela.
back in the
Secondary
day,
cave, like Charles
back in
said,
the
below
day,
ground.
there was no monument.
And
It
they
was
don't know
just
where the
dirt.
second cave
It
was.
was just dirt. You can walk in dirt.
And you're walking
Over
over
the
the
You
second
can walk
cave.
over the cave. The cave is under the ground.
cave is down.
There's steps to go
It's
into
like
the
walking
cave.
on the subway system.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
walk over. You don't know
Yeah,
what happened
yeah.
underneath, right? It's like walking on the sand. You don't know what's under the sand until someone marks it. So this rabbi marked it. He went in there and he goes saw Eliezer Eved Abraham. And he tells him, what are you doing here? And he says, listen, I have to mark the grave. So he goes, I have to ask permission. He goes to ask Abraham Avinu for permission. And he says, you can come in.
Wow.
And the Rabbi Benah is afraid. Doesn't want to go in anymore. And Eliezer
Yeah,
says,
because he just saw.
again, seeing Eliezer of Abraham is already enough. And he goes and he tells Eliezer, he says, I don't want to go in. You know why? Listen to this answer. He's afraid to go in. You know why? Who's buried there? Sarah. He's afraid to go in there because it's not sanua to go into Sarah's grave. There's a woman there. There's Sarah, Rivka, Leah, not Achel, not Achel. Rivka, Leah, and Sarah and Chava. It's not sanu to go inside. But a good question, right? It's a good question. What does he tell him? Abraham Avinu gives him an answer. He tells him, nothing to worry about. Because in this world that we're located in, there's no more Yetzirah.
Wow.
It's clean. There's no more problems of snoot, not snoot. We're all in different worlds.
He's not in that world right now, though.
Once you enter that cave, you're in that world already. Once you see Eliezer, you're already in that, I'm not going into that topic, but you're already in that world.
Part of the cool guys.
Part of that group. So he tells him, go in. He goes in there, and he tells exactly what he sees when he sees Abraham. I gotta say it for the Gemara. He sees Abraham and Sarah, whatever it means. I'm gonna say whatever it means. He sees Abraham and Sarah lying next to each other, and Sarah is checking Abraham's hair. Whatever it means. I don't know what it means, but it can continue. He goes into the next cave of Adam Harishon. Bat Kol comes out from Shemaim and says, Adkan, you can't go anymore. You can't go anymore. Adam Harishon, you cannot go and see him. Meaning, mark whatever you have to mark, but you can't go and see him. So he yells out, Rabbi Benah says, I have to mark it. I have to mark where the grave is. Bat Kol comes down again and says, the measurement of the graves is the same marking as the one outside. Meaning, if you want to know that measurement, go outside and mark it. That's the same marking that you need to go for inside. Don't worry about it. Meaning, from here on, you cannot go past.
So they treat Adam on a higher level than Abraham?
No,
Just
whatever,
now they did.
whatever it means. He just says you cannot go and see Adam Arishon. And then he says, I'm going to read what it says. He says that Rabbi Ben he sneaked a peek. He sneaked a peek into that room and he saw Adam v'Chava, and he says that Adam v'Chava, the light that he saw was like the sun and the moon. That was the power of the light. Again, it's not a physical light, it's a spiritual light, but he saw Adam v'Chava, and he saw Abraham, and whatever he says that Sarah, to other women are like monkeys to a woman. That's how beautiful she was.
Wow.
And Sarah to Chava was like a monkey to Chava. Kimo Kof. That's what it says. That the beauty of these women were still intact. Were still actual beautiful, even in the graves. Whatever it means, that's what it says. That was the story of Ibn It gets much longer, but I'm going to stop here. He sees exactly what he sees, and he marks whatever he marks. And that today, the grave is marked by this of Ibn
And
On top of the cave.
Top of the cave. He didn't go in and mark the actual graves because he couldn't. He couldn't get in the actual...
It's still marked right now?
Just did the measurements, went
The
back up,
Bat
and
Kol
then
from
marked
Shemaim
it.
said, the same measurement that you have outside
Right.
is the same measurement that's inside, meaning you don't have to go in.
Question.
Yeah.
Technically, if somebody wants to go in today, they could.
Yeah, right?
No, it's
Technically, no.
Get past the guard, whatever.
Technically, if you want to go in, it's open season, but no one goes in there.
I'm just saying.
Someone did go in a couple of years ago, and he recorded it. You can even go on the computer and see it. However, he didn't go into the actual space because you can't go any. I don't know why he didn't go any longer, but he didn't go any longer, and he recorded his. You can go on whatever his YouTube, whatever, and you can Google in Hebrew. I can send you a link if you want. He goes and he actually moves stones and he gets into the place. However, he didn't get to the actual spot
because it's all the way down.
It's built on top of what it
the earth level gets higher and higher. All
Same thing like the Kotel.
So you can't go.
Bat cave.
You can't go. You can't go into it. But I want to give you a little bit of chidush. Again,
miles down.
this class again. That's why I mentioned this class is a deeper class. I was afraid to say, but I had to say because it's a beautiful class.
Great.
They say that when neshama passes away from the world, right, it doesn't go straight to Shemayim. Chidush for you guys. It doesn't go straight to Shemayim. When the neshama passes away, the first 7 days, it's still in the city. Still passed away in the city. Still floating in the city. The first 30 days, he's still in this world.
I thought the first 7 days in the house.
Sorry. First 7 days, he's still in the house and in the shul.
Isaac, baby.
Exactly. He's still in the house and the shul. That's why when they pass away, they go pass by the house and the shul. 30 days, he's still in the city. And the first year, still in the world. After the year, the Neshama goes, zoop, it goes to Gan Eden. However, how does it go through Gan Eden? There's a gate. Where is the gate located? Hamachpela. He has to go Hamachpela. And who does he have to go see? Adam v'Chava. You know why? Who caused death in the world? Adam. Adam and Chava, really. Because they ate Esdat. If they didn't eat Esdat, there would be no death. So we have to go by Adam, and he has to confirm if we rectify his sin or not. Again, we're all here just to rectify Adam Arishon. So he has to go check you off if you rectify the sin or not. If you rectify the sin, you have to become a Gigul. Go back. However, you rectify the sin, through Gan Eden. That's why the answer was, I told you, when he went into Machpelah, Avraham Avinu, what did he say? In this world, there's no problem with Tzniut, because he already got into that world. That's already the Petach of Gan Eden. That's the end of the class. Adkan. I don't know where it is.
Wait, does that answer, what was Isaac's question?
Isaac's question answered, how does it know if there's burials, there's graves in that area?
Yeah.
This rabbi went and marked that only those rabbis, only those avot are buried there. Right. No one else is buried in that area.
So it's the rabbi from what, 2,000 years ago?
2,000 years ago.
So what about the 500?
Now the rabbi from Havinchiku. His name, anyone ever hear of the rabbi called the Chida?
Yeah.
The Chida, his name was Rabbi Yehuda Azulai. That was his name. He lived in in Tunisia, and he was a traveler. Anyways, he had a father. His name was Rabbi Abraham Azulai. Lived in the 1600s. 1600s, only 500 years ago. True story. The owner of the land of Israel at the time, the rulers, was the Ottoman Emperor. It was Turkish Arabs, and they owned also Hebron at the time. And at that time, already they had markings of the graves, and there was a hole where this spot was where you can go down. There was a hole, and people would go there and just look at it and pray, but they can't go down. The Sultan of Turkey came to this spot to go visit one of the sites. True story, it's written down. I have the book in my house. I didn't bring it. But the Sultan comes to the grave, to the spot, to the circle, and he's looking at the circle. And as he looks at the circle, he had a beautiful sword in his holster. It has diamonds on the sword. Beautiful sword. And it comes out of the holster and it falls into the hole. Falls into the hole. Who's going to get the sword? The Arabs knew what. Well, no one goes down there.
They
At that time,
worshipped it or something.
At that time, the Arabs, they owned the country. They owned the land of Israel, and they marked a border around
But
that
they
circle.
felt it to be holy.
They pray there. The Arabs, Abraham,
yeah,
Ibrahim. They call him Ibrahim.
Yeah.
He's a holy prophet, Ibrahim. Yitzhak, they worship him. So there was a circle at the time, and they guarded it, and they prayed there, and they knew that no one goes down there. So now the Sultan wanted to get a sword. So he sends in a couple of his soldiers. And what they did was, they used to tie a rope to the soldier and lower the guy down. And in case if the guy, if they find out the guy passed away, they can just pull him up. So they lowered the guy down,
This guy's a dumb
and after a few minutes, nothing's going on. Fishing, guy's dead.
Wow.
Happens again. Rolls again, guy's dead. Happened 3 times. Rolls down 3 soldiers, they all come out dead. Again, this happened only 500 years ago. The Sultan realizes that something's going on over here, and he's not sending any more soldiers down, but he wants his sword. So the Arabs, what do the Arabs say?
Hey, Rabbi.
They say, you know what? Who's the best sacrifice? Why use all our soldiers? Send the Jews down. If they die, no one cares. And if they get the sword, then you get the sword. Hadid. Those send the Jews down. So the Sultan says, a good idea. We're going to make a decree. I want, in 3 days, someone to come from the community and decide that they're going to volunteer to get the sword. And if not, I'm wiping out all the Jews in Hebron. Killing all the Jews in the city. It's a big decree. Everyone's afraid to go down there. Everyone.
Death.
Everyone's fasting. They designate 3 days of faster. Again, they eat at night. And they're praying. Taharonim was a very bad time. This Rabbi Abraham Azulai, the father of the Chidah, decided, I'm going to be the one to go down there. He immersed himself in the mikveh. He did a certain kavanot that he had to do, prepared himself, and he went in with a certain tachrechim. Whatever happens, happens, and he decided he's going to go down. And he said he's going down, and everyone was waiting to see what's going to go happen. And he gets down there. And he goes down, they tie him to a rope, and he goes down. And he passes the 13 steps, and he passes the spot where the sword is, gets the sword, and he throws it up. Doesn't go out and get it. Doesn't go out of the grave. He throws it up. You know why? He says to himself, if I got to this far, if I got to this point, this far, I'm allowed to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm continuing, I'm going to find out what's over there. That's what he says to
And I
himself.
might as well get the sword so I can save
The sword he threw back because he wanted the Jews to live.
Yeah, I want the Jews to live.
Once the sword is back, the decree is done.
Yeah, do what you want.
And they don't care what happens to him anymore because
yeah,
he's
now do what
there.
you want.
Right?
Mission complete.
Again, he's still tied to the rope. Throws the sword back, and he continues to go in and decide what's going on there. And he writes the story. And the Chidah continues the story, and he passes on to his student, and student, until these days we have the story. Passed on generation. And he writes what happened when he got into the next part of the grave. He meets the famous Eliezer Eved Abraham.
Wow.
And he sees him. And he tells him, what are you doing over here? And he told him how to go get the sword. He said, okay, so why are you coming to this part? Why are you coming to Ma'at Avraham? He tells him, I want to see Dukyono, I want to see the face, I want to see what it looks like. And he tells him, you do not need to know what it looks like. You can go back. And he tells Eliezer, if I'm this close, let me just stay here. Let me just stay here the rest of my life. I don't want to go back.
Wow.
And Eliezer tells him, soon you'll be back here. It's not your time.
That's how you know you go through it.
And he went back. Again, he walks back with the rope, comes back out. It was a big celebration. He wrote down whatever he saw. He wrote down exactly what happened. They did a korban, whatever. They shechted, they had a big suda, big feast, big celebration in the town. Even the emperor, the sultan, rose into royalty. The guy went in and came out, royalty of the whole town.
Wow.
Everyone knew what the story was. It's a famous story. The next morning he woke up, prayed shachrit, and passed away.
Really?
Passed away. When Eliezer said, "Don't worry, you'll be here soon," he said, "You'll be here soon."
Wow.
The next day he passed away. But
Just
he was
to tell the story.
But he was able to write down the story.
Right.
And the Chidah writes that the special lesson from that story was that that Hashem Kivachol let him write down the story to tell you that it continues. The same story continues. It's not only the Gemara times, it's also 500 years ago.
Wow.
Whatever happened after that, I don't know. Again, people went down there, I don't know what they saw, whatever they saw. However, what's the beauty of the class? The beauty of the class is not to speak about what goes on in Hamachpela. That's not what I base on. The lesson of the class of tonight was one word. Peneh. What one word in the Torah could teach you. If it's extra, it's not extra. As a lesson, as now we learned, a beautiful lesson, what the peneh, what the face means of Salah Imenu. Amen.
Amen.
Wow, I see Team Money's on fire.